Sharing screen. Okay, so number 80 says k times n plus 4 times f equals 9v. This is for n. These are called literal equations. They don't have any numbers in them. Not that that matters, but that is what it is. So you identify n, and sometimes it's good to highlight it or circle it or do something to know what you're solving for. And you almost make a list here. You can do it off to the side. You can say, what's keeping n from being alone? Well, it's being multiplied by k, and then 4f is being added to it.
Yeah.
So we talked about this last night. Like you don't undo left to right. You undo based on order of operations.
Yeah.
So you undo addition and subtraction before multiplication and division. So in this case, by making the list, okay, you got multiplication, you got addition. That tells you the order that you're going to undo them in. You're going to undo them in by undoing the adding by 4f. So you subtract 4f from both sides.
Okay.
Now these are not like terms. Bring the kn down, but on the right side, they're not like terms. You just leave it as 9v minus 4f.
Okay.
All right, so there's nothing to do on the right. You just rewrite it. On the left, it's just k times n. That tells you the math operation. You undo multiplication with division. You divide both sides by k. Divide both sides by k. So the k's cancel on the left. And that is your final answer. N equals 9v minus 4f divided by k.
So when there's like when you're doing this, like if there's like a different problem like this and there's no letter when you're dividing, like there's no k with the 9v and the 4f, you just leave it as it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the answer. We should do a couple more of these, like 81 and 82. For those. The reason these are difficult is because you're used to using x and y, and then you're used to having numbers, and that's why these are so awkward, I'll say. But there is a path, there is a way to get these correct. So 7f plus g equals 5. We're solving for f. Very important to know which variable you're solving for. That way you don't solve for the wrong one, which does happen. So you look at the entire left side and you say, well, what's going on over here? Well, 7 is multiplying f. G is adding. Or somehow you need to like denote those, whether you make a list, you just look at it, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Whatever makes sense to you, but it's not left to right. It's just whatever is there. And then you decide which do you undo first, the addition or the multiplication.
The addition.
Yeah. So you're going to subtract g from both sides.
Okay.
7f equals 5 minus g. So those don't go together. They're not the same. All right. And then from here, you undo multiplication by 7 by dividing by 7. Divide both sides by. Divide both sides by 7, and f equals 5 minus g over 7.
Okay.
Okay. So let me give you one or two to try here on your own. Did you get this down in your notes? Do you feel like?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's do this. Let's go. Perimeter equals 2L plus 2W. I want you to solve for W.
Okay. Can I go grab my book?
Of course. Yeah, of course. Get yourself ready. Let me know if you have any questions while you're working on this one.
Yeah, so the first thing what I was doing, I would subtract 2 from 2L and 2W, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I made this one a little bit different. Unfortunately, they're not like all the same. You actually subtract 2L from both sides.
Oh, so it's from P.
Yeah, P
Oh, yeah.
minus 2L equals 2W.
Oh, okay.
And then what is the last thing to do here to solve for W?
Would you divide by 2L?
Just two, just the two,
Well,
because the two is in front of W.
okay.
All right, I made this one a little bit more difficult than it needed to be, and we'll kind of step back here and work on it a little easier. But
Okay.
so your final answer, the twos cancel, is P minus 2L over 2.
Okay.
Okay, is that okay? You got that down?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, let's say that D equals 4P plus X. I want you to solve for X. I'm sorry, solve for P.
Okay.
So you want to look at the right-hand side, whichever side the variable is on, and say the 4 is multiplying the P and the X is being added.
Okay. So I subtracted X from X and D, and then I got D equals 4P.
D
And
minus X, right? D minus X.
oh yeah, D minus X equals
Yes.
4P.
Yes.
And then you just divide by 4 on both sides.
Yes. Very good.
And then would it be, is that the final answer? D minus?
That's the final answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it doesn't like mean anything. It doesn't like have a um it doesn't tell you anything, but that's what these are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's look at one that's kind of like 80. So
Okay.
like 80. I'm gonna try to do a little better here. PQ plus 2R equals 9T. Okay, I want you to solve for Q.
Okay.
Solve for Q.
And it's the PQ, the Q on the P?
Yes,
Okay.
solving for that Q. Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions on this?
So yeah, so I'd subtract 2 from 2R.
2R.
And
No. So this 2R is a term.
mhm.
That's the whole thing.
Okay.
Yes, I'm starting to see why this could be unclear. Yeah, and the whole thing is 2R. That's what you subtract.
So I don't know, I'm a little confused.
Okay, and you do that from both sides here. Okay. Let me back up here. Let me just start something fresh here. So
Okay.
if I write 3A plus 4B plus
Mm-hmm.
3AC,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if I just write this, there are three terms.
Mm-hmm.
So a term contains something. I mean, and it can vary, but this one contains a number and a letter.
Yeah.
The second one, it takes on the sign, so it's
Mm-hmm.
positive 4B. The third one is two letters and one number. But there's many like variations on what this could be. But but the terms are what you move around.
Okay.
Okay, like for example here, let's think some really quick, really simpler. Let's say it's like 3a equals 4b. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can subtract 3a from both sides
Mm-hmm.
because you always move the term. Okay, so like in this example, it'd be 4b minus 3a.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's go back to the same thing again. 3a equals 4b. You can subtract 4b from both sides. You can move an entire term. You can't separate them. It's not 4, it's 4b. They're
Okay.
they're together. I mean, literally it means like 4b's, but we write it this way. So it would be 3a minus 4b equals 0. So when I give you a problem, like let me give you one much more straightforward than what we've been doing. Like let's say it's n plus 4f equals 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I want you to solve for n right there. You have to move this 4f.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're moving. You're subtracting it from both sides of the
Okay.
equation.
Okay.
Okay, so that becomes, this would become n equals 1 minus 4f.
Mm-hmm. And then like you can't subtract the 1 and negative 4f because they're
Right.
not the same.
They're not the same. They're they're
Okay.
they're mismatched. They
So
don't they
that
don't
just
go
becomes
together.
there.
Yeah, this is your answer. But like we're doing, this is the term. So if I give you a problem like this, like d minus 3r equals p, and I want you to solve for d, you have to treat this 3r as a term. It's not a minus 3, it's 3r.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you undo subtraction by 3r?
You would add 3r.
You would add 3r. Add 3r. So d equals p plus 3r, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to some of the problems that we were trying to do here. Sorry, did you get all that down? Or
Yeah.
do you need to? It's okay if you're just watching. I mean,
Yeah, I'm just watching it right now.
okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have you try some problems here. So let's say it's like 2p minus 5l equals w. Solve for p.
Okay.
Solve for p. So give this one a try. It's a little more difficult than maybe the others, but I think you can do it.
So I got 2p equals w plus 5l.
Okay, that's a good start. Is p by itself? Does it only have a p? So yeah, so you got this 2. What's the 2 doing? What's the math operation?
I'm multiplying.
So you undo it with
Division.
division. P equals w plus 5l
Oh, okay.
divided by 2.
Okay.
All right, let me give you one more of these to try. Four x plus 3w equals y, and I want you to solve for w in this new problem here.
Okay. So I got w equals y plus negative 4x over 3.
Good. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back to one I had you do earlier, make it a little more difficult. Let's go 100 equals 2l plus 3w. Solve for l.
Okay. So I'm not sure if this is right, but I got L equals 97 plus W.
All right, so yeah, that's trying to see where this goes. So we just quickly here. So you subtract 3W from both sides.
Yeah.
Now you cannot combine those. Even though you can combine 100 minus 3, it's not 3, it's 3W.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a proper analogy. There's not a good one. I mean, chemistry is kind of your best one, but there's certain things you just can't combine.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean, like,
I just wrote it down as a normal 3, so I think that's where I got
yeah,
confused.
like your volleyball team probably plays their games on your basketball floor, but they're not the same. You
Mm-hmm.
just can't mix them. These don't
Okay.
mix.
Okay.
Uh, um, and and I hadn't given you one with a number yet, so I mean, this is good that you saw it, but we really want you to not do that. And so similarly, like when you divide both sides by 2, you don't do anything more with it. I mean,
Okay.
that is your final answer.
So on these like problems, you don't need like the variable, like the 2L on the left side.
Well, it becomes L because you
Oh,
divide both sides by 2. But on the right, and if maybe that's unclear, it's really in parentheses in the numerator, which is why you don't divide them.
hmm.
Okay, let's go back and look at 82 on that problem sheet. I'll write the problem. This is the other one that was given here. It says to solve for P.
Hmm.
So here's P. And you have to say, oh, it's really it's really parentheses because order of operations, which goes to the right, but when you're solving, you go back to the left. You undo addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then parentheses. So even though division is after addition, because it's in parentheses, you do the division first.
Okay.
You undo this by multiplying both sides by 5.
Hmm.
So on those cancel on the left,
Hmm.
and it is 5R. It is 5 times R, but then it's P plus 9 here on the right
Okay.
or left. I'm sorry, left. Now to solve for P, you're going to subtract 9 from both sides, but what you cannot do is combine those on the right. They're not the same. They're just mixing things that don't go together.
Hmm.
So we'll look at another one like this. But I guess I should also ask, is there other things you know that you want to cover? Because I don't want to spend all our time on this stuff. If you
Um, I haven't seen anything else. This is like I was looking through my packet. I wasn't really confused on anything else.
Okay, well, I'm gonna throw some random problems at you,
Uh-huh.
and just see if you and maybe. So let me do that. We'll come back to this if we need to.
Okay.
Right. So let's go. Just finding a couple of these. Let's say that x equals -1, y equals 1, and z equals 2. And I want you to do 5z plus y minus x.
Okay. I got 12.
That is correct. Good. Are those difficult for you or not?
No.
Okay. Let's try a new type of problem here. Let's go -2 times x minus 3x plus y. So this would just say to simplify.
Mhm. I got 12x plus y.
Okay, let's so one of the things you can do is you can actually combine these in here if you
Okay.
want. You don't have to do that first, but you can.
Hmm.
Did you or did you just distribute this in?
I just distributed.
Okay, so let's distribute that first. So it's -2x
Hmm.
plus 6x minus
Hmm.
2y. Is that what you have?
Yeah.
Okay, now you can only combine the x's because they're the same.
Oh, okay.
So -2x plus 6x becomes 4x minus 2y.
Hmm. And then is that the final answer because you can't
That's
combine?
right. You can't
Okay.
combine them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now let's look at another one like it.
Hmm.
Let's go 3 times x minus 2x squared plus 3x minus 4x squared. And I want you to simplify this one.
Okay. I
You have any
got
questions for me?
I got negative 144.
Okay, so I feel like you did the exact same thing they did in the previous problem. You tried to combine these things inside
Um,
here. Now, one of the reasons you can combine some, but let me ask, did you distribute first?
yeah.
Okay, so that's 3x minus 6x squared plus 9x minus 12x squared.
Hmm.
Did you write that down?
Yes.
Okay. Now, one of the things that I think maybe is unclear is that 3x and 9x can be combined.
Okay.
Okay, 3x plus 9x. And the reason is because they only have x to the power of 1.
Hmm.
But this minus 6x squared and this minus 12x squared, they have a power of 2.
Okay.
And that's why they can be combined. Now you might think, oh, well, what about they both have x's, and yeah, that's true, but there's slight variations on each other. This
Hmm.
is 12x, this is minus 18x squared. So they have to be exactly the same to be able
Hmm.
to combine them.
Okay.
Now this was probably more difficult than what you'll see on your test. Let me get back to one that'll be on there. Let's
Hmm.
say it's -5, 3x minus 4y plus x. Could you simplify that for me, please?
Okay. I got negative 35x.
The middle term though has a y in it.
Oh, I didn't even write. Oh, my bad. I didn't even see the 4y.
Yeah,
Let me.
it's kind of there in the middle to get you to not pay attention to it, but it is
Okay.
important.
Okay.
Are you tired at this time of night?
Sometimes. I mean, I just came back from practice.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I'm wondering if some of this is because you're just tired, or some of this is really you don't understand. I don't know which, but
Yeah, I just skipped past the 4y. I didn't even see it.
okay. Well, the good thing is you're distributing it really well. You just got to be careful that you can actually combine the things that you can combine. And you've noticed, like I'll circle, I'll underline, I'll do some things like that to indicate which ones you can combine. But you can only combine them if they're exactly the same, meaning like x with x, y with y, x squared with x squared, y squared with y squared, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's so I saw this. This is not meant to be a difficult problem. Um, is this a function? Is this a function?
No,
Why not?
because the x repeats itself.
So if this were a 4, it would be. So it's not
Oh,
just that it repeats, it's that it repeats and it went to a different number.
okay.
And if you were to make a picture of this, it would be a little bit better, but I didn't do that. But it would be, well, one either goes to 4 or it goes to 7. Which one does it go to? We have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just that it's duplicated, it's that it's duplicated and it goes to a different one.
Okay.
All right. So here's another thing that I know a lot of students struggle with. Let's say I give you something like this. I say that f of x equals 1 minus x squared, and I ask you, what is f of 3? Do you know what to do here? Do you know where to put that 3 into this function?
It'd be the x, right?
That's right.
Okay.
So can you tell me what this becomes?
Yeah, just let me write it out real quick. 1 minus 3 squared, so it'd be 1 minus 9, so negative 8.
Yes, your answer correct, but here's something really important that will help you. Whenever you substitute, put it in parentheses. Now, it
Okay.
matters even more for negative numbers. And you're right, this is 1 minus 9, which is minus 8. Okay, but I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
give you one that's different now, and I want to make sure that you are able to understand how to do it. Let's say, again, f of x is 1 minus x squared, but now we want f of negative 2. So again, I would tell you to put it in parentheses, and then order of operations tells you that you do exponents first. So you're going to do exponents before this subtraction.
Okay.
So let me know when you get a final answer here. The
Okay.
rest is just up to you to simplify.
I got f of x equals 5.
Okay, but so it's 1 minus what is negative 2 squared? What is negative 2 times negative 2?
Um. Oh, I wrote -4.
Right. And that's the easy mistake to make. If it's multiple choice, both answers will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you got your calculator. What is 1 minus 4 though?
3.
-3.
Or yeah, yeah,
Okay. All right. 10 more minutes. Give me 10 more good minutes here.
yeah.
Let's do a few more problems. Let me just switch this one up.
Okay.
Let's say h of x equals 3x squared minus x. Let's find h of 2.
Okay.
So again, my recommendation is to write it in parentheses. It
Mm-hmm.
will help if you do that. So order of operations says that you do exponents
Mm-hmm.
before multiplying. So you have to do this 2 to the power of 2 first.
Yeah.
Go.
So once you do that, it becomes 3 times 4, right?
That's right. And it's
And then
good to write
and
that.
then okay, and then I got 12, and then -2, and I got 10.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so the positive ones really they're not too bad. But we got to do a negative one. Got to do a
Okay.
negative one. H of -1 equals 3 times -1 squared minus, and then you put that -1 in parentheses.
Okay. I got -1.
Okay. How confident are you in your answer?
Confident.
Okay, so -1 squared means -1 times -1. That's +1.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sometimes you got to come off to the right and actually write that down. -1 times -1. Oh, that's 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, minus a minus becomes +1.
Okay.
Okay, so we got 3 times 1, which is 3 plus 1, which is 4.
Okay.
Now I have no way to know if this is going to be on there. I'm just throwing out problems that I think might be helpful to you.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
let's just do one more here of
Mm-hmm.
these. Let's go. Let me change this up a little bit. Let's go f of x equals x minus x squared, and let's find f of -3. All right, so again, I really recommend you put it in parentheses
Mm-hmm.
just for the x, just for the x.
Okay.
And what do you do first? What is the first
The exponent.
exponent? So if you need to come off to the right and write -3 times -3, or even -3 times -3, doesn't matter. You got to be able to get the right sign mainly. That's the main thing you're trying to worry about here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 9. You just bring down the subtraction.
And then -12.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, so let's look at, we got some time left here. Let's do some what are called two-step equations. We're
Okay.
kind of doing them with the literal equations, but these are going to have numbers in them. So let me throw a couple at you here. Let's go 3x minus 4 equals 17. Okay, and you want to solve for x. So you're going to get a number this time. It's not like the literals where it's an equation or its expression as a result.
Do you want me to solve this?
Yes, please. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, please.
I got x equals 7.
That's correct. Very good. Okay, now let's look at one that's a little bit harder. Let's go 4 minus x equals -5. What you have to look at when you're looking at a problem like this is what's going on with this 4. Is it being added? Is it subtracting? It has to do with the sign. It has nothing to do with this operator here in the middle. This operator goes with x. It doesn't go with the 4. I don't know, does that help?
So you're saying that the 4 is subtracting?
Well, it's added. We just don't write it.
So okay.
So you undo it with subtraction, even though maybe you might see what students want to do, and I don't know why this is the case, because whenever we describe something, we always describe it in first. Like you say, look at the red car. It's -x. The negative goes with the x. It doesn't go backwards. Okay. So the 4 is positive. So to undo it, you have to subtract.
Okay.
So this becomes -x equals -9. Any idea what to do here?
Would you divide by x on both sides?
You want to get x by itself. It's almost by itself. There's this negative in front. Really, it's a -1.
Okay, so you would add 1 to both sides?
But it's multiplying. It's
Oh,
multiplying.
divide.
Divide by -1. So x equals 9.
Okay.
Okay, let's try another one like this. Let's go 6 minus 2w equals -26. Let's try that. Go ahead and try solving this for w.
Okay.
Let me know if you have any questions.
I got w equals 16.
Okay, so that sounds reasonable here. Let's subtract 6 from both sides. So that's -2w equals -32. Divide by -2 on both sides, so w equals 16. Okay, is there, go ahead and take a look at, I don't know if you get your study guide out or anything like that. Is there anything else you can answer before we close out today? I don't want you to be hanging here if you've got any last minute questions for me.
Let me see. I don't think I see anything.
Okay, how do you feel going into the final? Do you feel
I
prepared?
definitely feel more confident.
Okay, that's good. How are you doing on your like half sheet of paper note card?
Oh, I finished that just tonight. I was gonna add, I left a little bit of room for the stuff tonight.
Oh, good. Maybe throw in a practice problem or something.
Yeah.
Whatever you think will best help. It's been a pleasure to help you. I'm going to give your mom some feedback tomorrow. I'll give her a call or text her. It's late, so we'll just leave that for another day, but glad to help, and look forward to helping you after the new year. Hope you have a great holiday.
Yeah, thank you for the help.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Bye.